Landed.
Exactly. Good afternoon. I'm Matt.
And I'm Dave. Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are.
And welcome to today's Mastermind. Our topic for you today is what you could do with just 1 extra hour in a working day. Now, that is something which I've used. I know Dave has used. You may have also used as well. It's a tool which you can very simply leverage to get more done in a working day, week, and month compared to your competitors or anybody else around you. I do get comments from time to time, "Hey Matt, how do you get so much done?" It's comments which I've received recently. It's ones which I've received in the past, and that's the thing, is that it's maintaining a high level of output, and 1 hour extra per day can make a massive difference. So that is today's main topic. Give you a quick heads up, Dave is in a different location today. Dave, where are you today?
I am in Epinay in France. So again, apologies if quality is not great. I'm having to hotspot from the phone because the Wi-Fi it may as well not exist.
Fair enough. So if we lose Dave for halfway through, we do apologize in advance. And also because the time of where we are in the year, today is Amazon Prime Day. Yesterday it started and it finishes today. And that's a topic which we'd just like to quickly just discuss, because I was just about to ask Dave, Dave, did you buy anything from Amazon Prime Day?
I didn't. I haven't done yet. And in all fairness, I haven't really needed anything. There was nothing that I had my eyes looking out to buy. I've had a quick scroll through last night and yesterday and again this morning, just see if anything's popped up. And no, nothing really tickled my fancy, to be honest. So I've not bought anything. I didn't need anything. I did feel on first look that the deals were very much a sort of rinse and repeat from Black Friday, similar sort of stuff. You got obviously the Amazon own products, and you've got the Philips toothbrushes and some TVs and laptops. And so for me, I was not what's the word? I was not empowered to buy anything from Amazon today. Prime Day.
Well, it's a real curious one,
anyway.
Because I said last time I'd wait for the next one, or wait for Christmas or something like that, for an Amazon Echo. And then I started doing my research in it, and you've got the Echo Show, which is the little stand with a 7-inch screen and stuff like that on it. And then it turns out, well, you can't use it for Netflix. You can't use it for YouTube because Amazon and Google have a spat. And it seems all very much a pointless device for 100 quid. No way would you pay 200 quid for it. And it's on offer for 100 quid, and there's no way I'm paying 100 quid for that. So that was a bit of a fail. And then I looked into the Amazon Echo, and then there's the Echo Plus, or the taller one. They don't have batteries in it, so you can't really use it as a Bluetooth speaker. So I came to the conclusion, what I really want is a Bluetooth speaker, and I bought one of those instead.
Happy days. From Amazon or from somewhere else?
Yeah, from Amazon. I think it was in a Prime deal, or was it not? I can't remember. It wasn't terribly expensive. Oh, I did buy a new electric toothbrush because I was fed up with the wife using, because we share one at the moment, and every time I go to use it, it's dead. So I thought I'd buy myself a new one and put it in the bathroom, and happy days. So yeah, I did blow 90 quid on a toothbrush, which
there you go.
Which was something. Dave, I was kind of like in your camp. Nothing really grabbed your attention. That's the only thing which grabbed my attention. I've been meaning to buy one for blooming ages, and then it popped up. And it was the real good one, the one which I'd looked at previously. I was like, oh, right, 90 quid, happy days. I'll have that one. So
I think one of the interesting things that we've seen this year, Matt, sorry to talk over you there.
No, I know where you're going, so please do.
Is that this isn't just an Amazon Prime Day anymore. Like eBay have been pushing massive. And again, if you're watching this right now, let us know if you've seen a spike in sales yesterday, today. If you're an Amazon seller, let us know if you've got any deals going live. But yeah, eBay were heavily getting involved. This came about 2 weeks ago when Devin publicly tweeted that they were going to launch their own deals week this week on eBay, and also they're launching their new marketing campaign. So eBay really seems to have been trying to hijack this day for their own means, but it's called Prime Day, and I think everyone knows that Amazon is Prime.
I know.
I'm not sure if it's been a good idea or not.
Yeah, we were just trying to check out for something else following on from our conversation before we went live. I need to get that done. I think you're absolutely right. There was a comment ages ago about the search manager, the person who's head of search over at Bing, has a bit of a tough job knowing that everybody uses Explorer or whatever it's called now to go and search for Google Chrome and to search for Google instead of MSN or whatever else. And do you not feel that might be a bit awkward for eBay having to tag along with Amazon Prime Day?
You know, rather than trying to create their own event, which would have been the innovative leadership thing to do, they've just hijacked Amazon's, which or attempted to. I mean, and to be honest, here in the UK, I mean, I know in the US, people are a lot more brutal with their marketing campaigns. Here in the UK, we don't really slag off the competition much. We're much too polite for that. But on the eBay homepage yesterday, scrolled down about halfway, and they had a big red banner with 3 Google Homes on it saying, there's a better way to spend £79. And it was clearly a dig at the Prime membership price of £79. But I was just like, it just seemed a bit distasteful, if I'm honest. Considering you're hijacking their event and then saying, you know, it's like, stand on your own, guys. You know, don't try and. I think it's an old saying. Gary Vaynerchuk says best. You know, you want to be the biggest in town by building the biggest skyscraper, not by knocking down everyone else's.
I think that's the basic summary of it. And yeah, and you're right on the innovation piece. So I think we're normally very friendly to eBay, but I think this is one of those instances where you've got to have a poke and go, cool, that must be a bit of insulting almost. You have to hijack someone else's event rather than go on and creating your own and creating the innovation back at the beginning. So a little bit awkward. Anyway, Dave, we're dragging ourselves off topic. Let's bring ourselves back to today's mastermind topic. And sorry, and no, I'm not apologizing for that because it's very time sensitive to where we are. So if you're watching the recording of this one it's a week or latest time, it's Amazon Prime Day yesterday and today. So it's very much fitting. So coming back onto the topic, an extra hour per day. So what are we suggesting here, Dave? We need to turn the day into a 25-hour day or something different?
Absolutely. I mean, if that's possible, that'd be great. I mean, I've had a word, but still nothing's come about from that yet. No, the concept for an hour every day is that we're pretty confident that no matter how busy you think your life is, most people have an hour that they could utilize better than what they currently do. And for some people, that's an hour in the day. That's an hour in your work day where you're doing something which is not the best use of your time. And deep down, you know, it's not the best use of your time. It's something which, as we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, could easily be automated. You know, if you come into the office every morning and spend an hour going through your emails, that's not the best use of your time. That's what your VA should be doing, going through your crap emails, and then you only have to deal with the ones that need your attention. And it's the same if you get home at night, wherever it might be, chances are you have an hour somewhere where you could work on something which would have a genuine impact on your life, whether that be on this business, whether it's starting a second business, whether it's improving the listings on your website, maybe it's taking better images. Whatever it may be, there's a lot of things that can be said for just taking an hour every day. And like I said, it may not sound like a lot, but as you've written in our notes, Matt, an hour every day basically equates to an extra working day every week, which, like I said, that soon adds up. You're then talking, into a month territory. You're getting an extra 4 days a month. It's all of a sudden, it's noticeable. Noticeable differences will start appearing with that extra hour.
And Dave's absolutely right here. We're only suggesting, so we're not like saying add an extra hour to make up an extra hour. We're actually suggesting get up an hour earlier or go to bed an hour later. Now, the reason why we're suggesting that is because it's not some fancy blah, blah, blah. It's because we know that it works. For me personally, it's get up earlier. And the thing is that I know for some of you, you may not be morning people, and that's great. That's why I'm suggesting an extra hour in the evening, for example, or to gain time somewhere else within your day. The typical one is to add it in the morning. And that works fantastically for me, is that the alarm goes off at 5 o'clock. Typically, I am awake before the alarm. That's the stage of where I'm at now, is that I'm awake an hour or even more before the alarm goes off. Like for me, the alarm is just like the safety net. And then if you think about that, is that if we were in traditional jobs like me and you listening to this, and you were getting up at say 4 o'clock in the morning, but you don't actually get in the office till 9, is that what have you done? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've done 5 hours more than anybody else in your office. Imagine if you were in a sales team, for example, and how many potentially, if it's possible, how many calls could you get in? How many leads could you follow up? What kind of things could you get done in? We're just being polite and saying 1 hour, but what we're really meaning is that if you stay up a little bit later, again, you need to play to your own body clock. So I know Dave is very much more of an evening person than a morning person, but for me, mornings are brilliant. 4 o'clock, and then by 9 o'clock, I'm 5 hours ahead of everybody else, and I've got so much more done than I would have got done if I just sat in bed and lazed around. And granted, I go to bed earlier, so by 8 o'clock, I'm yawning, and between 9 and 10, I'm going to sleep. So I have offset my day a little bit. But on the flip side, uninterrupted time, the kids aren't up, the family's not up, staff won't be in unless you've got a Philippines team, which they'll have already been up since 3 o'clock because that was their 9 a.m. in the morning. And you can get so much more done. It's just nuts. Now, Dave, what have we got here on our notes? What have we got on our notes in here? So we were trying to think of like what are some examples of what you could do in that time. Now, I want to give you a big heads up that most McDonald's here in the UK, at least, are the ones which are open 24 hours. They're open 24 hours. You can go in and go somewhere else, not sit in bed and do something and pretend to do something. You can actually physically get up, drive, or walk, as the case may be. I'm not saying you go and have a sausage egg McMuffin every single morning. That might be detrimental to one's health. But having a cup of tea or a cup of coffee in a different environment where there's nobody else really in there at that time of day anyway, is open. I'm also very lucky where I live right now is a local Costa, opens up at 6:30. There's a Cafe Nero, which is, again, just 10 minutes away. That opens up at 7:30. So it has been known for me to come out here, work in the office, be at Costa for 6:30, stay in there to 7:15, then move to the next cafe, which then opens up at 7:30, and then spend another hour in there. And of course, all this has happened before 9 o'clock, and I've got an absolute shed ton done before anybody else has kind of turned up and even thought about work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, for me, obviously, my slant on it is obviously different. Mine's in the evening. Similarly, 0 distractions. Most people go to bed at around 10, 11. So if I stay up until 1, 2, that's my distraction-free time. And that, for something, that's just how my mind works better in the evening. I struggle to fall asleep, but I also struggle to wake up. So mornings do not work for me. But I mean, there's different, like one tip which I would give, and this is the key here, and it is very easy to be distracted. So again, if you're trying to find an hour in your work day, if you're trying to offset your life somewhere so you can find an hour in your normal 9 to 5, block it out in the calendar. Literally make up a meeting. Put like, right, John, I'm in a meeting for an hour. If the staff see it, they go, right, no, he's in a meeting, we can't bother him. And then that's your free reign then to just get stuff done. Like I said, whatever it may be, working on new suppliers, working on listings, whatever it is within your business, maybe developing a new website, looking into new product research, whatever it might be, the uninterrupted nature of that 1 hour is the critical part. And like I said, Matt, that comes naturally at 6 o'clock in the morning. No one's going to bother you except the barista wherever you are. And chances are they're only barely awake anyway, so they're not going to be too chatty.
You complain about having to get up early and stuff, and I'm going like, what do you mean? You're late. Come on. I wish you opened up like 2 hours early. I'd be in here then. Hey Hey ho. Just looking at the live chat. Howdy Nick, howdy Mike, and howdy James. James says Amazon should have copyrighted the phrase Prime Day. Absolutely, that would have got some certain companies into hot water.
I'd be surprised if they haven't. You know, I wouldn't surprise if they've got a trademark somewhere, but they just don't do anything with it.
Or just laugh at the competition.
Yeah, exactly. They're clearly not that bothered by eBay's and Target's futile attempts to dethrone them.
I know. I got an email from, what was it, Dell this morning, about their Prime Day. So I hit unsubscribe, which I'm pretty sure I hit unsubscribe before, but I was nice. I didn't hit spam. So we cut ourselves back. An extra hour a day could be clearing out your inbox. But on a more serious note, it could be, as Dave said, finding new suppliers by whatever means. It could be researching what your competitors are up to, and I am blatantly reading off some of the notes on here, and looking like researching your competitors to see what they've missed out upon. Remember, we've always said this for a very long time. We can guide you to one or more perfect or very, very near perfect Amazon listings, and we can't do that for eBay listings. So there's two products which immediately spring to mind, Jungle Sticks and the Bananagrams, which are very, very good examples of fantastic product pages which exist on Amazon. We can't give you, I know I can't, I'm speaking for Dave as well here, but I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same for him. We cannot give you examples from eBay listings, which are very, very good. There's always money being left on the table when it comes to eBay. Typically it's in item specifics or minor details. So spending that extra hour in the morning could be competitor research to seeing what they're doing, to then go and get the good bits and then implement them yourself into what you're doing with your listings. If I assume that makes sense. You could do very simply learn something about SEO or learn something else. We're not, while we are e-commerce focused, we're not completely opposed to suggesting that if you wanted to learn a different language, then screw it, go and learn another language every single morning. With the world being so small because of the interwebs, you could maybe use like the Memrise app, for example, and literally to go and learn another language in an hour every morning. Imagine if you've done that 20 mornings in a month or more. Very, very easily done. The thing is that with 1 hour, whatever you chip away at, no matter how big it is, even if you're trying to eat, for worst case of a better metaphor, you're trying to eat an elephant with a spoon, you're still going to get through it because you're just going to be there eating it all day. So it doesn't matter how big the challenge is, you can do it. It's just having the extra time or availability to go and do it. What else do we know? Oh, add new 10 new products to the site. That's not impossible. What, 10 minutes a product? Not outrageous challenge. You could potentially be training a remote team member in customer service, which is what I just read that for live over there. You could also be analyzing and finding slow moving products and then do something about them, because if you've got kit which is sat on the shelf and it's worth sweet FA being sat on the shelf and it's been there for the last 6 months, it's about time it gets cleared out and you replace it with something which is going to sell. And it may be that a morning, you may split up the week into, like, the first part of the week is identifying slow moving lines, and the second part of the week is reconfirming which ones are the ones going through a trend at the moment, so that you make sure that you get rid of the crap which isn't selling, and you make sure you get the crap which is selling, and make sure that they're in balance the way which they should be, which is sometimes impossible in the office from, say, 9 to 5. But if you slipped in that extra hour in the morning, and again, we're assuming that you're entrepreneurs, so you're going to be working for yourself and you can squeeze that extra time in the morning, do it. It's an absolutely lethal business process, which definitely works. Like I said, both myself and Dave have used this. We just use it at different times of the day. I'm very much a morning person, so I use that to my advantage. And Dave is more of an evening person, so he uses that to his advantage. And of course, you take this away, and if you can stomach getting up a little bit earlier, And we're not saying do a mat and get up at 4 o'clock. If your alarms are going off at 8 o'clock, well, maybe try 7:30 for a couple of days, and then try 7 o'clock. Just ease yourself into it, and you'll be surprised. Once your body clock kicks in, you're going to be like me, where you're going to be up way before your alarm's gone off, and then it only turns into a safety mechanism. And of course, if you're then combining it with another part of a process, a routine is the word which I'm looking for. If you're then combining it with another routine, aka going to Costa, for example, or going to Cafe Nero, or going to McDonald's or something like that, is if you then combine it with actually then leaving the house and going somewhere else where you've literally got 0 distractions, is that it can come super productive. Because again, you don't need anything special. You just need, well, even if you need that, most cafes and whatever have internet, especially McDonald's. Wherever else I've just mentioned, I've got Wi-Fi in there. Worst case, I've got 3G or 4G on the phone, which I can use, or I can even use the iPad as a Wi-Fi spot. So even if you just park up in your car somewhere with a nice view and enjoy that, do it. Absolutely. You might even, we're here even talking about work stuff, but you may, like we said, we're not suggesting it could be all work stuff. Like we said, second language. It could be reading or listening to a book. Combine it with, say, some exercise, for example, which is probably what Matty should be doing after a fantastic winter. But let's not go there. So there's a collection of different examples. But the basic premise is an extra hour a day at the beginning or at the end of the day, where you've got time to yourself away from distractions, gets you literally an extra 7 hours in a week, which if you stand it up on its top is an extra working day. And then if you really take it on an extra level, you then end up with not just one working day, you can end up with several working days in front of anybody else around you, whether that be friends, colleagues, or competitors. Does that make sense, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've hit the nail on the head on that one.
Cool beans. Cool beans. Let's have a quick look. Hobby Base says, sorry, off topic here. I've noticed I'm getting what feels like more sales emails since GDPR. I'm definitely not subs to any of the lists. Just from my point of view, is that I've had less which have come in. I still got, like, I got an email from like PC Mag. I don't know how that got through. I have no idea where that came from. So that went in the spam bin. But from my point of view, I've got less. I genuinely have got less. In my inbox and my emails have, for what I've read of them, have all been pretty good on topic. And you are talking to the most prolific spam button presser of all the time, because any email which saps up more than like a nanosecond of my time, which I'm not interested in, just got spammed. And it's brutal, but it's like the shadow ban button on YouTube, is that they can still send you emails, you just never see them, which is like not seeing the comments on a YouTube kind of thing. Absolutely nuts. Nick says,
I'm probably still getting about the same level of crap emails that I always used to get, and I was hoping GDPR would sort that out. But I'm with you, James. I'm still seeing. I'm not saying I'm seeing more, but I'm not seeing any noticeably less than what I was getting to. I'm still getting emails.
Spam.
Well, that's the thing. I think I'm gonna have to get a little bit more Matt Brutal on it, because there's definitely people sending me emails who I remember not opting in after GDPR emails. And they're still sending me emails. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get a little bit brutal with the spam button.
Yeah, do it. It makes life so much better. Right. Also, Nick says, my son's car broke down and he had to be in work at 6. I did that and he had to be at work. So I did that for a week and then took advantage that my clock had changed and kept going. And so the new time is now 5:45. Well done, Nick. Happy days. I would dare you to see if you can go a little bit earlier, especially at this time of the year. So in the UK, it's getting light about 3:30 in the morning, maybe 4 o'clock. The birds are coming up. They're starting to sing. You wouldn't believe how loud it is out there at 4 o'clock in the morning with all those birds just chatting away to each other. And I'm really lucky. I live just on the edge of Bristol, and we can see the deer coming through, and they've got little baby deers at the moment which come through the garden and stuff like that. It's very, very cute. And it's a whole different world at that time of the morning. There's a train which goes through at 4 o'clock. There's a train which goes in at 5 o'clock. There's a train which goes past at 5:30. And you can kind of hear those things, even though they're so far away, because there's just so much. It's like a Christmas Day morning every single morning. And it's with literally no distractions other than the distractions which you put in front of yourself. So absolutely.
It's funny, a couple of days ago, I was up at about 4:30 in Folkestone, again on the beach, lovely place, seagulls, you know, chirping, and lovely sunset, don't get me wrong. But after about 2 minutes of hearing those seagulls go, caw, 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 I was like, yeah, there's a reason there's only 4 o'clock in my day normally.
Yeah, so if you're by a coast, then yeah, it's going to get a bit noisy that way. But normal, like inland, normal birds, it's a really nice time of the day. That was the point which I was trying to make, and well done, Nick, for maintaining it. Leverage it to your advantage. And I have personally felt a lot better now getting a body clock sorted, and some nights I'm up late, 10 o'clock, you know, really late, but it is what it is. I'm a morning person, and I leverage that to my advantage. But we're not saying to go mad crazy and go like that 4 o'clock. It's just might be far too much for you. 5:45. I'm suggesting 5:30 instead, and then just try and knock it down a little bit. And then it's the more time which you get, so you can sit there and enjoy the cuppa. You can find out what's going on in the world, and then you can get your head down, and then know that if you get up at 5:45, we'll say by 6 o'clock you're mostly functioning, and what's that? 6, 7, 8, 9. You're 3 hours in front of most other people, and that's not really without trying at all, because you've got yourself into that rhythm. So that was today's topic. Those were the points that was the point which you wanted to get across to you. It's very easy to do if you're willing to do it. It's tough for the first week or so, granted, but once you get in the swing of things, it's happy days. You get so much more time. You wouldn't believe how long the day is, especially when you're not getting any distractions from wives, kids, husbands, dogs, cats, colleagues, and so on and so forth. And again, it may even work in your favor with your team, because they're up anyway. Assume you've got a team based out in the Philippines, they're up anyway. So you can get more done with your team, like we were suggesting, training the team on customer support, for example. So there we go. 1 extra hour in the day can be absolutely lethal, because it's just one little slice throughout the week, 1 hour extra per day. Stand it on his end. It's a whole day, and we're being there quite polite, because we know that we do that multiple times in one day and then stand the whole lot up. And I can be 3-4 days in front of anybody else if we were just working normal 7 hours days or whatever. So it does all add up, and it's just one of those things. Try it for a week and see how you get on. We both think that you're going to be genuinely surprised. So, Dave, on that note, what's next week's Mastermind?
Next week, we're going to be talking about multiple revenue streams.
Aha, there we go.
That was a holy grail, yeah.
So that'll be next week's Mastermind. Again, here live. If you may have already guessed it, we have been recording this one live, as we do with the Masterminds every single week, which is exactly the same time, which is 3 p.m. UK time, which is BST at the moment, for another couple of months at least. Anyway, it's time for us to go. We would both like to say a massive thank you to you for taking the time to join us here for a cuppa and a chit chat about, in this instance, 1 hour extra a day can, and crucially, we know does, make a massive difference to your working week, because it all just adds up in your favor. So on that note, from myself, Matt.
And from me, Dave.
Cheerios.
See you next week, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.